but Tanner Rempel was nice enough to agree to join us on the show. So Tanner, you're on the unofficial hot seat tonight. So thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. And
No,
you guys are
100%.
just a week into the season now. So baseball is back. Cardinals baseball is back. You guys have definitely overhauled the roster, and you, my friend, look like you bulked up. You took it seriously in the off season and just went to town with it. What manifested the whole change? Was it just something you wanted to do, and you weren't feeling like, okay, you're playing first base now, so you needed to look the role more, or what?
I would say, honestly, like, I mean, part of it was, I mean, obviously, there's that preparation every year.
Yeah,
There's always a sense of excitement. As soon as the season ends, you're always looking to get right back into it.
yeah,
I
well,
think this year, because I ended up sticking around in Hamilton this year,
hmm
living at the team house here,
yeah,
and then working full time, I guess.
yeah.
But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot to do, so I just figured I'd go,
Let's go work
you
out
know,
and just make myself look
exactly,
all
get in the
buff.
gym, swing, hit, try and get my body into shape,
Yeah,
um, to withstand, all the everything
okay.
that happens during the season, kind of thing.
Well, exactly. There's
Um,
42 games, and it goes by so fast that it's like, okay, yeah, and then you're in playoffs, and it's like guys play
exactly,
through some
100%.
weird things. Like sometimes you're a walking mash unit at times out there too, and it's
Yep.
just like, especially when it comes to playoff time, it's like, okay, yeah. And then things come out about certain teams and everything else, like that. This guy was hurt. This guy was hurt. This guy was hurt. Half
Yep.
the team had a stomach virus. It's just like, what? How the hell?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. No, I couldn't agree more. But yeah, I just kind of took it upon myself. Like, I used to love, I guess in college more so, I was a lot
Yep.
more, I don't want to say I was more inclined
Mm-hmm.
to to get bigger, hit all the time, all that kind of stuff. I just, I had an itch this year, I
Got an
guess,
itch to there. Yeah.
especially after last year. Yeah, it's kind of the first year where I felt a little more established
Yep.
in the league, like a little more successful, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to be better.
Of course. Let me see if my memory correctly. Abertford, BC.
Abbotsford. Yep, you
Yep.
got it. Little farm
Okay.
town.
Little farm town. Okay. I was like, I trying to
Yeah.
figure out everything else, and then of course, then you went to was it? I can't remember what it was. What college was it? Was it Colorado
Colorado,
somewhere?
Mesa.
Colorado,
Yep,
Mesa. Yeah, okay.
Colorado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was okay. I'm just trying to remember these things because again, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like they come in one ear. Sometimes they process in there, and then sometimes they, you have the Google cheat sheet in the when we're doing the broadcast and everything else. But it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
No,
then
you're
of
talking to a
course, yeah.
lot of
So
guys
then you
around
went
here.
there, and you were also part of Team Canada, the junior programs, and everything else. So you've
Yeah.
seen a different level of baseball before you came to the Intercounty, and then your first season, you were catching, you were playing first base, you were catching, you were
Yep.
playing first base, and just trying to be a part of the team and everything else. And I remember calling that
100%.
hose from Duncan to you at the plate in the first year, and it was just like, okay, wow, this was fun.
Oh yeah. No, I remember that. I remember that very clearly. Bottom of the ninth, or I guess no, I guess it would have been top of the ninth.
Yep, top of the nine.
2 out. Yeah, to end the game. That was
Yeah,
and
you
tying
tagged out
run.
Matt. You tying run. You tagged out Matt
Fabian.
Fabian at the plate.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
very.
right.
You hit the one to right, and it was just like, okay,
That's right. Yeah,
yeah,
that was Jeremy that hit that.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that one because I think they played it to death all over the league site because it was the only clip up there for a long time.
I love it.
Yeah. So then, what do you do in the what do you do for fun? Obviously, when you were not working out and everything else, what do you do for fun? You like movies like your dad or anything like that, or you just kind
You
of just
know, I
relax?
a lot of I mean, here more so I would say relax. It was a lot of working this off season.
Yeah.
Tyler and I are working at Sean and Ed's Brewing Company.
Yep.
So it was they're our official beer sponsor. So, they kind
Yep.
of I guess Tyler was working there before I was.
Hmm.
He's like, once he found out that I was planning on staying here over the off season,
Yep.
he's kind of like, yeah, you know what? Like, come join me. Like, let's work here together, kind of thing. They're
Yep.
super good about our hours during the season, all that stuff, just because they're
Yeah.
our
Well,
beer
they obviously
sponsor.
they get it. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah,
Oh, exactly.
you guys got to go do this, go do that, and then
Exactly. Yeah. They know I didn't move
wear
here
our
for a
merch and
beer.
and plug our lines as much as you can. But yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. But no, I mean, other than that, I haven't really gotten to much of it around here.
yeah.
I guess it was a Colorado thing and BC thing, fly fishing.
Really, that's kind of
I
cool.
fly
Yeah.
fish a lot. Yeah,
It's kind of
that's
hard
like
out here.
my
There
hobby
are
hobby.
some places, but they're like way more northern and way more
Exactly.
remote up here than it is everything
Yeah.
else. But that's really cool though.
Yeah.
I
I'd say that's
remember
my
that movie,
thing.
A River Runs Through It, and I think I was like, yeah,
Yep.
I always thought that'd be kind of cool to do. I haven't
Oh
done it
yeah. No, it's
myself,
a
but yeah,
blast.
I'll definitely have to add it to the list of things to do in the next few years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. No, it's a lot of fun. Relaxing, that's for sure.
So when you were younger, obviously, would your dad take you to movie sets and stuff like that, or was it just always he'd go and then come back?
It was more kind of like he'd go and come back kind of thing. I
Okay.
didn't get to see a whole lot of movie sets or anything like that. He was always kind of doing his own thing. He was doing an internship with Sony,
Yeah.
and Mel Gibson. I didn't
Wow.
get to really see anything with that.
Yeah.
But no, like a lot of cool stories I've heard. He was recently on. He produced a documentary called Hellbound.
Yeah.
It was on Canadian Netflix. I'm not 100% sure if it is anymore.
I'll go take a
Um,
look.
it could be. It
Yeah.
could be, and I just, I don't have Netflix, so whoops.
I borrow the
Um,
kids.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But no, a lot of that stuff, like he would come back home with cool stories after traveling everywhere,
Yeah.
like different stories from what happened on the set or different people he got to meet and, all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to listen to, pretty cool to hear about, especially some
Nice.
of the names that he works with. Like he was doing some stuff with Holes. I believe he was a story editor on Holes.
Yeah.
So I think he got to know Shia LaBeouf somewhat well,
Nice. Very nice.
which
Very
is,
cool.
that's pretty cool
Yeah.
if you ask me.
Oh,
But
exactly. Oh, I
yeah,
think it is.
yeah.
No, it's cool to see those things and everything else. Like I would always be that person that's like, okay, so and so worked with my brother's in. My brother does visual effects actually. So for
Oh, no
his
kidding. Oh, sweet.
he owns a company. So it's
I
just like he
gotcha.
does all this
I
other
gotcha.
stuff. He worked with Tiger Woods for like 3 different ad campaigns. He worked for Coca Cola and all
No
this other stuff in
way.
here. And I'm like going, how did the talent pool miss me? But
No way.
it's just like because it's just hilarious. And my father was a photographer. Like my father actually, my father had a PhD in chemistry. So he was
Oh,
at the
no kidding.
he came from India.
Smart guy.
He went to England, and
Uh-huh.
then went from England to Florida. He was at the University of Florida when they were making Gatorade. So
No
he
way.
worked on the original Gatorade formula.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then
That's
he came to the
crazy.
University of
That's a
Guelph,
cool story
and
there.
he always had a hobby for photography. So he started a
Mhm.
photography store in town here in Guelph, and it was just like that's how he met my mom, and well, that's how I came along. But still, it's just
No
like,
kidding. There you
yeah,
go.
it was just kind of like, how did this like? I sit there with my brother, and I sit there with everybody else, and going, I must be the mailman's kid or something, because I just skipped the generate, it skipped the gene pool, skipped me as far as that stuff goes. But yeah, because I can't. Don't ask me to point a camera because it's just like, oh yeah, sure, okay, yeah, no, you're
That
lost.
direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need something with a massive autofocus, and you want to hit the button now, pretty much as far as that stuff goes. But yeah, it's always cool when that stuff goes. Well, let's go back to baseball here and just get back
Yeah.
on topic as far as stuff goes. But yes, so yeah, we're into year 3. The Cardinals, a lot of changes and everything else.
Hmm.
Do you guys feel a lot of pressure this year? Like you have to go out there and compete, and not just compete, but you have to be in a position to get to the semifinals, finals this year, or is it just going to be okay? Is there some, I don't know if don't want to use the right word. You can't rest on your laurels? Maybe like we just
Right.
yeah,
No, I
we
gotcha.
got it, we got to go.
I would say, I mean, I think for some returning guys, knowing kind of like I guess the past
Yeah.
of what's happened like these past couple years, I would say personally, I think I can speak for a couple other guys too who've been here. I would say we feel a little bit more pressure.
Mhm.
Um, not by any means crumbling pressure, but
Yeah.
there was all the offseason moves we made,
Yeah.
all the lineup adjustments, front office adjustments, um, all that kind of stuff. I would say to a sense there is a certain amount of pressure that's maybe been placed upon us.
Yeah.
But nothing that's gonna prevent us from,
Still,
going to play as hard as we can, that kind of
yeah.
thing.
Oh,
It's
exactly.
just we got a better lineup this year, deeper pitching. Um, there's not many guys in our hitting lineup that you can pitch around to get to now, right?
No, exactly. Like I think
It's
that was evident on Friday night. It's just like, okay,
oh,
go ahead and
exactly.
walk Salazo.
I mean,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
exactly. You pitch around Salazo, well, guess what? You're getting Williams.
Yeah, exactly. It was
Or
just like
you
I think
pitch around Williams, guess who else you're getting?
yeah,
That kind
exactly.
of thing.
It was just like, yeah.
Um, but no, I don't want to say that we placed a ton of pressure on ourselves. I
Mhm.
think, it's just we're a bigger, better team this year. I think there's just, more depth, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I want to say it's something that's expected from us this year.
Okay.
Is, just to play better than the last couple of
Oh,
years,
exactly.
better run, all
Do
that
you
kind of
guys still
stuff.
find it a lot of fun out there and everything else? You can
Oh,
realize, hey,
100%.
Yeah, nobody's taking it so
Absolutely.
seriously. They're not smashing helmets or anything because it's just, well, you're not hitting anything. They're not, it's not the Mitch Marner episode from last night where he's yelling at the whole bench. I hope, like, God, that was just awful.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think, I think there's some guys too that, that could end up putting a little pressure on themselves.
Yeah,
Whereas a lot of the returning guys, we've been, I don't want to say we've been here and we've done this kind of thing,
yeah,
but it's not our first go around. So
no,
I think now we've kind of adjusted to what the league's like, what to expect, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think we're putting pressure on ourselves by any means, but I
yeah,
think, you know, there's a
it's
little
there.
bit more expectation.
Well, it's a little like more expectation. I think in the back of your head, I think you guys have got that next level you want to get to as a team and everything
Exactly.
else. Like you want to get out of the first round. You want to, probably have a above 500 record. You'd love to smash the franchise record for 21 wins
100%.
because it's just, you guys. The one year it was like
Aggressive.
you came out of the gate like gangbusters, and it all just
Yep.
fell apart like after about
Yep.
end of June, July 1st hit, and it was like, what happened to these guys? Like it just
No, 100%. I couldn't agree more.
that was like, oh man, like it was like watching a different team suddenly, and it was just like, and
Yep.
then it was just guy after guy after guy at that trade at the signing deadline. It was just like blew up the roster,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
like as an outsider, well, I wouldn't say outsider, but it was just like as a casual observer, it was just like, whoa, what's going on here? Like something didn't
Yep.
work, and it just didn't seem to, and then the band-aids and everything else that were put into place didn't work either. So it was like, okay,
Yep.
but now what?
No, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I think part of it too was, the last couple of years we've had a lot more college guys.
Yeah,
Um, this year, I mean, if you look from our roster, top to bottom,
yeah.
we don't really have any guys that we're going to be losing either.
No,
When it
exactly. Because
when it gets to later in the season.
yeah, I think that
So I
that
think
was
it's
the
going to be helpful for us to, all gel, form that chemistry as a team,
yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
exactly. Any personal goals for yourself, or as far as anything else? I know last year, I think it was June 26th, you were Player of the Week. I think that week and everything else. So it's just like, obviously, you want to get into that same sort of rhythm. That tells you things are going well for you personally, anyways. As far as you're hitting the crap out of the ball that week.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess I definitely this year. I mean, I think since we're hosting it too, it kind of plays a little bit bigger of a role. I
yeah,
would love to be in the All-Star game
yeah,
this year. But other than that, just anything I can do to help my team win. I don't
hmm
really care. I'm not at the point anymore in my career where I care about numbers or,
yeah,
you know, all the big sexy batting averages and leading
yeah,
out like home runs,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I just want to be in a position where I can, help the team win. We need like a, sacrifice bunt, sac fly, anything like that.
hmm
I'd
Oh,
love to be
exactly.
that guy, that
Oh,
kind of thing.
exactly. And I think
Um,
that's the kind of guy that I'm used to seeing you play as. Anyways, like last year,
mhm.
I remember the retro Friday night, the retro Saturday night game. I know I was calling it by myself and everything else, and you came to bat up. I think we were down a couple of runs, and I think you hit the knock to left field. And it was
Mhm.
just like, yeah, okay, this is cool.
Yep.
This is fun.
Yep. No, that felt good. I remember that one.
That was Tanner having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. I think there's a lot more emphasis on that this year for me
yeah,
than the past couple of years. Is kind of forget about that pressure. Um, all that stuff. I've been playing this. Like I've said it countless times. Like we've all been playing this game since we were kids, since we could walk.
yeah,
We used to have a ton of fun playing it.
yeah.
Why not keep having fun playing it?
Oh, exactly,
That's
exactly.
that's my thing.
Yeah, I know we've tried to mic you up a few times on the broadcast and everything else, but just it
Uh-huh.
does. I think it's just there's too many. The building, the stadium's kind of old too, so it's just like, yeah,
Yeah,
there's too many lead pipes and whatever else in the way, so it doesn't quite
exactly.
work.
Getting a little feedback.
Yeah. So what do you usually say to a guy when they come up to up down to first base and everything else? If you know him, obviously there's a conversation going on, but whatever. But what's going on? And
Oh yeah.
usually, what's going on down there? It's just, are you asking like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? How's the
Yeah,
season going? Stuff like this, or is it just
I would say yeah. I mean, for the most part, I just, I just try and be the friendly guy who people want to talk to.
yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna have like I don't know. I probably won't talk about like what went down in your at bat
no.
or whatever the season you're having. Just kind of a lot of small talk, a lot of I don't want to call it BS, but a lot of BS.
It's pumping the
Just like
tires
how
a
you
little bit. That's
doing, what's
okay.
going
Yeah,
on, where you
yeah,
from, all that kind of stuff. I like getting to know guys better too in this league too.
hmm
Um, as a guy who's played here, you see new faces.
yeah,
Ask them where they're from. where they went to school, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, just small talk, just friendly stuff. I don't want people to hate me.
No.
Baseball gods
Why
aren't
would
like
they hate
that. I
you,
want the
man?
baseball gods to be in my favor.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got to go and ask about pitchers you hate facing. Pitchers, okay, when this guy's on the hill, I got a good shot. Let's start off with the guys you hate facing first, obviously, because there's probably a few of them you're just like, oh man.
Yeah. Right off the get go, I can say Payano.
Yeah.
He is good, man.
He's got your guy's number. He
Oh
does.
yeah. I mean, I think last year I can't remember what I hit off him last year.
Yeah.
And in one game he struck me out twice, and then I had a single off him. But I remember I hit that single. I felt so much relief.
Yeah.
I
Like
got, I
not
got
striking
one
me out
hit
three
off him,
times a
and I
day,
was like,
man. Just not.
yes.
Yeah. So definitely Payano.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, I would say he's probably, the most feared pitcher for me.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to face Mendez yet in the 2 years I've been here.
Yeah.
I haven't faced him once.
Yeah.
Just, obviously last year traveling with OBJ and not being able to make every game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure I'll see him this year.
Oh,
So
I
looking forward
guarantee
to
you
that
probably,
after,
especially when we have
after all
the
talk.
CHCH Cup going on too this week. So you're playing them again
Uh-huh.
Thursday. So likely, if the game's close or anything else, you probably see Davey pop up there and throw nothing but fastballs at you again. So that's be okay.
Yep.
That's what I think pretty much what he was doing yesterday was just throwing nothing but fastball. He kept shaking off Robert back behind the plate, going, no, fastball.
Yep. Yep. Blowing it by guys.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, he's on the mound. I might have a better chance at as far as this guy. I've had good success against this guy, so he hasn't figured me out yet.
Oh man, no one. You know what? No one really comes to mind right away. If I'm being completely honest. I mean, there was in preseason, I did face Gillies.
Yeah.
He, don't get me wrong, fantastic pitcher, unreal stuff. He's a really nice dude too. But I was having no issue picking him up in preseason.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, great stuff, great guy. Just there was one fastball that he threw me that I just saw right out of the hand.
Yeah.
So there was kind of like a sense of comfort that I kind of built there after seeing that one. And then I felt a little better facing him, but years prior he had my number.
Nice, nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
all right, let's switch gears a little bit. Music tastes as far as stuff goes. Walk-ups. What do you have for Plan B as far as a walk-up in case you're not feeling it? Do you yell at Josh and say, "Hey, put number 2 on" or something?
No, you know what? I'm gonna keep what I got going on probably for the rest of my time here.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just kind of become like that I Had Some Help song with Post Malone and Morgan Wallen. I feel like it's just kind of become, I guess, something that I'm kind of known for here now, I guess. I don't want to say to the same extent as Duncan is Superhero Song.
Yeah, well, that one just, I keep trying to suggest new ones for him, and it's just like, you know what? When we put his top 50 thing together, which is airing tonight later on, finally. So Eric can stop bugging me about that one, but that's still, it's just like, I went a little bit off script. I was going, you know what? I'm just gonna have some fun with this myself and just put something else in there differently. And if he doesn't like it, I'll change it back for him. He can have that copy with his own walk-up song on it. But something I was just like something else, just to, I don't know, something that just seems a little more upbeat for Tyler. Like, because I looked at the video for that Superhero song and I was like, oh man, no, come on, really? Now that the song makes sense, yeah.
No, 100%, 100%. I don't think I'd change mine though. I'm not. I don't know. I think I'll probably let it ride for the rest of my time here, I would think.
Nice. There's nothing wrong with that at all either, too.
Oh, yeah.
Just, all right, so let's go down through players you love watching hit in this league. Is there anybody out there that's...
Tyler. I love watching Tyler hit. I love watching him swing. Even when he swings and misses, too. Like, there's just... It's loud. Like, it's... I don't know how to describe it. It's a loud swing in a good way. Like, not, like...
Like, he mostly squares up
everywhere, but...
Yeah, he doesn't usually... When he does miss, it's not missing by much. And then when he does square it up, 100%. It's just that certain sound. It's just...
Yeah, exactly. It's loud. Yeah. 100%. I would say him for sure. I also really like watching Diolio hit.
Yeah.
He's just a good hitter. He's got a good approach. Even as a right-handed guy, he sprays the ball all over the field.
Yep.
He knows how to hit, that's for sure. Gosh, who else? trying to think who comes to mind right away. Obviously, Cardoso.
Yeah,
I like watching him hit. I mean, he's an Abbotsford kid too. We played high school baseball together.
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's
I mean, there's a.
absolutely tearing the cover off the ball right now.
Oh no, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. He is. Yeah, he's a good dude. Great hitter. Great ball player. No, I love that kid to death. I would say those are kind of my big three:
Yep.
Duncan, Deolio, and Cardoso.
That's a
Those are
good
kind
big
of the
three.
guys who are. Oh
Those
yeah.
are pretty big, pretty very good big three in this league.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess TV shows, anything you do watch when you do find time?
Oh man. Not really. I found not really actually.
Yeah.
Not a huge TV guy. Every once in a while when I'm going to bed, I might throw like I don't know, 2.5 Men on or something like
Yeah.
that,
Something that you can
just
fall
for some
asleep to.
background noise.
Yeah. Something
Exactly.
you can fall
Yeah.
asleep to that's not going to wake you up. Something like, whoa, what's going on? Like what?
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. No.
I would say I don't know. I don't really have a favorite if I'm being completely honest.
All right. So we got to talk about what's your pregame meal? Like what's in the pregame routine as
Pre-game
far.
meal. Usually, okay. So in college, it was funny. I was known for this in college. In college, before every single game, didn't matter what time, could be like a Saturday morning doubleheader kind of thing. So we're at the field at 8 a.m. around there.
Yeah.
I would have a drumstick, one of those ice cream cones, and a
Nice.
Red Bull, and I would
Oh
eat it on
man.
the same spot
How could
in
you
the
like?
couch,
How
like on
does
the
your
couch
stomach
every
handle? Like, I
single
can
day.
understand the one way, but after that, like, how does your stomach handle dairy in that? Whatever's in
There
that
was
drink.
I don't know. I was built different in college.
Yeah,
There was Tyler and I talk about that too sometimes. Like, we could just show up to the field and play like some show and goes,
yeah,
no issues with the body, none of that. Now here it's like I'll need a good hour to loosen up and get warm,
yeah.
all that stuff.
Well, it's
I don't
also
know.
it's a
I
little
can't do it
colder
anymore.
here
Now I
too,
just get
so
heartburn.
I just get our friend. We need a Rolaids or a Tum sponsorship, please.
Yeah. Yeah, throw some Gaviscon in the fridge.
Yep, that's awesome. Well, I don't want to take up much more of your time. I know everything else, and it was just I really do appreciate you taking the time tonight to chill and
No, thanks for
hang out,
having me.
man. It's like I
Yeah,
told you it wasn't
100%.
gonna be like 60 minutes. I promise. But there you go. We got to know you a little better.
75 minutes.
Yeah.
No, thanks for having me. Just
Anytime,
glad
man.
I beat Tyler.
Mr. Duncan, anytime you're ready, the chair is all yours. All right, we'll see you
I
soon.
love it.
See you, man.
All right.